Shocking. Princess Leonor and King Felipe VL's grandchildren mystery revealed. Everyone thinks they know how royal mysteries work. A leaked detail. A hidden heir. A carefully guarded family secret waiting to explode. That's the familiar expectation whenever the words, royal mystery, and future generations appear together. But this story takes a sharp turn. Because there are no secret grandchildren. No hidden heirs. No shock reveal in the way people were led to expect. And that's exactly why this moment matters more than any rumor ever could. The mystery surrounding Princess Leonor and King Felipe VI in 2025 isn't about children who don't exist. It's about why so many people expected them to. Here's the context everyone already knows. King Felipe VI represents stability after decades of scrutiny around the Spanish crown. Princess Leonor represents the future, young, watched, carefully prepared. On paper, the timeline is clear. Leonor is still coming into her public role. There are no announcements, no personal milestones pointing in that direction. Yet suddenly, online conversations exploded. Speculation, whispered theories, click-driven narratives about grandchildren, hidden futures, and royal secrecy. So what actually happened? The public collided with its own expectations. This is where the real story begins. In 2025, Princess Leonor's visibility increased. More military training, more international attention, more moments beside King Felipe that felt less symbolic and more strategic. And that visibility created discomfort for some observers. Because when a future queen moves closer to the center of power, people instinctively look ahead. They don't just ask who she is. They ask what comes next. And in monarchies, what comes next often gets reduced to bloodlines and offspring. That's the lazy narrative. The shocking truth is not that there is a mystery involving grandchildren. The shocking truth is how quickly the public tried to rush Leonor into a future she has not yet chosen. This curiosity gap tells us something deeper about Spain right now. The country is not just watching Leonor grow. It's projecting urgency onto her. Urgency to secure continuity. Urgency to feel certainty. Urgency to see the line extend forward immediately. But Leonor's reality doesn't operate on audience impatience. King Felipe understands this better than anyone. As a monarch who inherited not just a crown but a repaired image, he knows how damaging premature narratives can be. That's why the palace response has been silence. Not evasive silence, protective silence. Because Leonor's role right now is not about future children. It's about present responsibility. This is where the emotional layer becomes clear. The so-called mystery wasn't born inside the palace. It was created outside it. From a mix of fascination, pressure, and the modern tendency to treat royal lives like ongoing series that must constantly escalate. But real life doesn't pace itself for algorithms. Leonor is in a stage of intense formation. Military training, constitutional education, public discipline. She is being shaped as a leader, not discussed as a vessel for lineage. And King Philippe's role in this moment is critical. He is not pushing her forward prematurely. He is holding space, allowing her to mature without forcing milestones, allowing Spain to adjust to a future that doesn't need to be rushed to feel secure. That restraint is the real revelation, because it contrasts sharply with how previous generations were handled. Historically, young royals, especially women, were pushed into narratives of marriage and motherhood early. As proof of continuity, as reassurance, as control. In 2025, that pattern is breaking. Leonor is being framed, intentionally, by absence of that conversation. And that absence is not emptiness. It is respect. Respect for timing. Respect for autonomy. Respect for the idea that leadership starts before legacy. This is also where Sophia's presence subtly reinforces the truth. Sophia exists outside the line of succession, yet remains deeply visible. Her role reminds the public that family within the monarchy is not only about producing heirs. It's about balance, support, human grounding. Together, Leonor and Sophia represent a generational shift. One where worth is not measured by how quickly the next generation is produced, but by how thoughtfully the current one is prepared. So when headlines shouted, "Mystery revealed," what was actually revealed was something more uncomfortable. The public's impatience. The need to label, predict, and consume the future before it arrives. And King Felipe's calm response, through structure, training, and silence, has been a boundary. A quiet reminder that Leonor is not public property. She is public responsibility. There is no secret child. No hidden grandchild. No dramatic revelation waiting behind palace doors. The real story is simpler, and far more modern. Spain is learning to let its future queen grow without demanding proof of tomorrow before today is fully lived. That is the shift. That is the revelation. And that is why this moment matters far beyond rumors. Because the strongest monarchies aren't built by rushing lineage. They're built by allowing leadership to form without spectacle. And in 2025, that discipline, shared between King Felipe and Princess Leonor, is the clearest signal of stability Spain has seen in years. What happens next is where the conversation becomes even more revealing. Because once the rumors faded, something unexpected followed, not disappointment, but clarity. Public attention didn't disappear, it redirected. Instead of asking when or who, people began noticing how Leonor carries herself now. Her posture during formal engagements has changed. Her silence feels deliberate, not passive. Her presence beside King Felipe no longer reads as symbolic, it reads as instructional. And that shift wasn't accidental. Behind closed doors, the emphasis in 2025 has been on restraint as strength. Every appearance Leonor makes is measured. Every absence is intentional. This is a lesson King Felipe learned the hard way. He understands that overexposure weakens authority, especially in an era where narratives move faster than truth. So the so-called mystery served a purpose without meaning to. It forced Spain to confront what it actually wants from its monarchy. Not spectacle, not constant revelation, but coherence. A royal family that doesn't feed speculation, but outlasts it. And this is where the emotional weight settles. Leonor is not being prepared for applause. She is being prepared for patience. The kind of patience that leadership demands when decisions aren't popular, viral, or instantly understood. When the silence matters more than the statement. When symbolism carries more weight than confirmation. That's why there has been no correction frenzy from the palace. No aggressive denial. No attempt to dominate the narrative. Because power doesn't argue with rumor, it waits for it to collapse under its own weight. And that collapse is what we just witnessed. The mystery didn't end because something was revealed. It ended because nothing needed to be. And in that quiet ending is the most important message of all. Spain's future is not being rushed. It is being preserved.